Do you know how confident bot owners are playing on your favorite site? We do, and it's going down. Hello everybody, my name is Rob Gardner and I stream on Twitch 3 days a week. And on this channel, we strategize how to be better at life on and off the poker tables. Now, if you get any value from this, please hit the like button below the screen there. And also feel free to drop us a comment below. We'd love to hear feedback from you on what you liked or didn't like about the video. And of course, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well so you get notifications and updates when we post our videos twice a week here on the Poker Pastor channel. So in 2019, bots were a very hot button topic. We had Joey Ingram doing numerous investigative videos about suspected bot rings. We had Party Poker and ACR Poker coming out with official statements against bots and publicly banning over hundreds of accounts. And here in 2020, it's still at the forefront of everybody's mind. Back in 2014, someone developed the Open Hold'em bot, and this bot was basically a simple Hold'em solver paired with a screen scraper that would take the information and, based on some basic rules, make a decision as to what needed to happen. Over time, however, the Open Hold'em bot became too difficult to update with all of the new sites coming out and all the new updates coming out. And this is where three major players came into the botting industry to supplement what Open Hold'em had done. These were the Warbot, the PokerBot, and the Shansky bot. Now, at no time did I download any bots, install any bots, work with any bots, or anything else. All of my research was purely done by looking at the data that I could find specifically in forums on these bot sites and in the search engines on Google. And the information I found is pretty telling. So, how does your favorite site perform in the words of the bots that are using them? My first class of sites I'm going to label as the sites that are flunking. And I've got two networks in this category. The first network is the Bovada Ignition Network, and the second network is the iPoker Network. Let's talk about the Bovada Network first. This network shows up in all three bots as a very low risk bot. Through all my research, through all my studies, I could not find one instance of any bot user actually getting banned or suspended by the Bovada network. Coupled with the fact that the site uses anonymous tables, this makes it even more difficult for any type of players to police the site or to point out any type of collusion or botting that takes place. In addition, in going through the bot forums and reading about updates that come from the site and how the site's reacted, bots were able to very quickly react to any updates and changes that Bovada put out in their software, leading to a very quick response and a very quick success rate for botters to continue using the site. With the iPoker network, the problem is similar. There wasn't a lot of resistance. iPoker has currently over 18 active sites, each with their own skin and look and vibe. And despite 18 sites, all three bots say that they work on all 18 skins. And same problem here. Could not find one instance of an iPoker user that the bot was running on getting banned or getting suspended. These bots are running liberally, without risk, and without concern. So the second category I have here is barely passing. Now, there's three networks in this category. One is the Seal with Clubs network, the second one is Coin Poker network, and the third one is Carbon Gaming. Now, the reason that these sites are just in barely passing and not in the flunking category is because with the condensed player pools, there is a little bit of an opportunity for the player pool to police itself and point out potential botters to security. With Seals with Clubs and Coin Poker specifically, these sites are both newer and both got fully added support on all three networks in 2019. In fact, specifically on the Warbot site, Seals with Clubs was recognized as a site that had a lot of promise to botters. And while Carbon Gaming specifically does have a history of some banning of bots, most of it has taken place 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and there isn't a lot of activity recently on the site. Now, the third category I've listed here is labeled Getting By, and I have two networks in this category. The first network is the Global Poker Network. Now, the Global Poker Network has had a history of banning bots. As I looked at the rankings that the bot sites gave global poker across the board, it ranged from a low risk to a medium risk. And on one bot site in particular, they were very concerned about the changes that were taking place. However, on the flip side, global poker has two real problems with botting right now. The first is that they are one of the few and only poker sites that does browser-based technology, and there are limitations to browser-based technology in terms of what it can access on the computer itself and what it can start to look for and try to identify. This is further challenged by the fact that browsers have different restrictions and different availabilities, and so whether a user is using Firefox or Chrome or Internet Explorer can affect essentially what global poker can and can't see. Now, these limitations are getting better as browsers update the technology and as more options become available, but this has a little bit of a limit into what they can do. Now, the second challenge that global poker has is with a specific piece of technology tied to the PokerBot site known as the GTO Poker Assistant. And what it does is it actually runs in tandem with the scraper to run what I would call a pseudo solver. The software claims that it can do solver type calculations in 1 to 3 seconds, not to an exact match, but just kind of in a close enough approximation to still be a profitable decision. And what's scary about this is this software only is able to work with a handful of sites, most of them overseas, most of them very small, and global poker. With BetOnline, it gets a little bit murky as well. All three sites claim to have full functionality and support for BetOnline. However, 2 of the 3 sites list BetOnline as a medium risk bot. But a little bit of deeper digging into the forums and some of the posts that have come from bot users kind of doesn't paint as clear of a picture. See, last June and July, BetOnline sent a bunch of emails out to users about restricted software and not using them. The canned email message created a huge stir to the point where many people thought that actual HUDs like Poker Tracker 4 and Hold'em Manager, and even software that BetOnline had developed themselves as a helper, Hold'em Indicator, it came out that what actually had happened is that BetOnline had put a canned email together and sent it to a massive amount of users randomly, not specifically tied to any type of detection. Still, this created enough panic amongst the botting community for people to be scared that they were being detected, and that caused the risk level to be raised up. But after that incident, there were no reports of any bot users actually getting banned for using the software on any of the 3 bots. Still, because of that deterrent, they've gotten higher risk, and that higher risk will scare some people out of not using the software for those particular sites, and there are better options. As such, we've listed them in this middle category. The fourth category I have is putting in effort, and I've got 2 networks here. The first network is Party Poker. Now, Party Poker made waves in April of 2019 when they announced the banning of 277 accounts for botting and colluding, and then another 121 accounts in August of 2019. 2 of the 3 bots in the industry still support Party Poker, with one of them pulling out. But it's been mixed results. As recently as November of last year, there were reports of people still getting banned for using those 2 bots, as well as a few people reporting some length of success. Due to the fact that Party is still making waves, but some are still kind of slipping through the cracks, we felt it was appropriate to rank them here in the getting in work category. The other network in the category is 888 Poker. Now, 888 Poker is still listed as a supported site amongst all 3 of the networks. However, 2 of the 3 networks list them as a very high-risk site to bot on, and the third network lists them as a medium-risk site to bot on. Now, this has to do with them taking a strong stance on bots and banning people all the way back to 2017, as well as making some major changes to the software throughout the last 4 years that have deterred bots from having some success. And while they work on all 3 bot platforms, the fact that they are listed as high risk is going to be a deterrent to a lot of people, so we thought that this was an appropriate category for them as well. This brings me to the last category when it comes to bots, and we're calling this the head of the class, and I've got 3 networks here that I would highly recommend. The first one's going to surprise some people and start some arguments, but I'm telling you, it is Americas Cardroom. At the start of 2019, all 3 botting clients in the industry had full 100% support. As of September of 2019, 2 of the 3 sites that do botting in the industry have completely withdrawn support for WPN, stating that it's too difficult to keep up with the updates, WPN has made too many changes to the software, and they will no longer support the site. With 2 of the 3 completely being shut down and the third bot having issues, we felt that the work that they made in 2019 made it very clear that they have moved to the head of the class. And with the new software that they developed in 2019 and released in the fall of last year, they now have a client that they can make faster changes to than people who are on software clients from 2001 or 2005 or 2010, giving them an advantage in this department as well. The second network I have to say here in the head of the class is the one and only Pokerstars. Now, like ACR, Pokerstars is only supported by one of the 3 bots in the industry, and that bot lists Pokerstars as a high-risk site to bot on. Searching through their forums and looking at the success, there are several accounts of people trying to use Pokerstars in the stealthiest of modes and still getting banned. As a result, we felt that they were the number 2 ranked site on this list because they have done a great job both eliminating the success of bots to even integrate with them, and the ones that have still run into lots of problems, and the high risk is going to be a major deterrent for people who want to consider botting on their site in 2020. Last but not least, at the very top of the list here, we have the GGPoker Network. As of 2020, all 3 sites have completely dropped support for GGPoker, stating that both keeping up with the updates was not worth the work and effort, and GGPoker's stringent policies on bots and banning bots made it too high of a risk to justify the work in continuing to run it. So as such, there are no bots currently in the industry that support the GG network, making it the safest on the list and currently placing it at the top. So, where does your favorite site rank on this list? Do you feel more safe or less safe playing on your favorite site now? We'd love to hear from you in the comments. That's it for me, Poker Pastor. I hope this has been insightful and opened your eyes to some things today. As I say always, dream big and be bigger.
I'm gonna rip this in. Ooh. Queen ball, let's go! First win of 2020, baby. In the books. The bear is off our back.